Hello, everybody. We're excited that you're joining us today to learn how Proven Optics is helping organizations unlock the value of IT with AI-driven cost modeling. We're going to learn how we're applying ServiceNow AI to our cost modeling application that's available on the ServiceNow store. We'll also do a live demo of one of our AI team members and share some of our lessons learned over the last 60 days as we've gotten into the AI space. My name is Nick Reed, and I'm our Director of IT Financial Management Workflows here at Proven Optics. We're a ServiceNow store partner who focuses on helping organizations manage their IT spend, budgeting and forecasting, and chargeback 100% natively on ServiceNow. And joining me today is Reese from our product team, who will be delivering the demonstration here in just a few minutes. Before I jump to our AI team, I wanted to level set some context on what is IT financial management. The business expects value from their IT investments, the hundreds of millions they're spending on existing and new systems. The need for IT to accurately budget and forecast what they're going to spend on using that investment and what services those dollars are going to support. These financials feed directly into our cost allocation model, which is the number one way IT teams can help turn their ever-growing expense footprint into a clear, easy to understand way of how IT is supporting the business. I mean, who isn't tired of hearing that IT is a black box? And we're using ServiceNow's AI to help customers get to that outcome faster, more accurately, and in a scalable manner. This is our AI team, and the assistant is available for hire. Our analyst is in training, and our AI consultant we are actively recruiting for. Our goal for this team is to make the Proven Optics applications easier to run for the users, get to production faster, and ultimately achieving business value. Our AI assistant focuses on getting the cost model set up for you, like identifying groups of similar costs and suggesting mapping rules based off the model you've set up. We want to make this process as easy, streamlined, and more interactive for our end users. What we're going to see an example of here in just a few minutes is that AI assistant agent. Looking ahead, our AI analyst is in training, and their focus will be turning the results of our applications into insights, enabling IT financial management teams to save hundreds of hours annually and allowing leadership to get to insights faster. And the AI consultant will be like having someone with 20 plus years of IT financial management experience sitting with you in the room, providing advice on model structures and how to optimize the model to achieve the business outcomes you're looking for. Today's discussion and demo is going to focus on our cost modeling application and how we've applied AI to that app. But this framework can be applied to any of our core offerings across the IT financial management landscape. So what do I need to build a cost model? To implement a cost model, you need just three things: a list of services, or in our vernacular, cost objects that we map expenses to with mapping rules. This could be a list of applications, development teams and projects, or even the service catalog listing. Then we need financial data, often found in the general ledger or in the ERP system. We are then going to use mapping rules to align those financial data sets directly to those cost objects. The third is then consumption. Who's using these services? It may be an end user, or it might be another technology device, like an application using virtual servers. Today, we're going to showcase how our AI assistant can help automate step 2, where we can use it to help map financials quickly to the list of cost objects within our cost model. The use case that we're going to view is what happens when we set up a new application in our cost model and need to map the software and the external vendor professional services to that application. As new projects start throughout the year, that means we're going to have net new expenses come into the model that need to be allocated to their proper cost object. Today, we'll see an example where a customer is starting a new proven optics chargeback project and how it looks to add new financial mappings to track and manage its total cost of ownership. Reese, over to you.
Hello, my name's Reese Polson, and today I'm going to be showing you some of our AI assistant capabilities within our cost modeling application. But first, I want to do a brief introduction to a cost model. So a cost model is a way for a business to load their financial transactions into cost objects and then allocate those cost objects to different parts of the business to represent how the money was spent. This cost model that you're looking at on the screen right now is a ServiceNow total cost of ownership model. It's meant to illustrate how much it costs to own ServiceNow for a business. If we take a look at the top part of the model, we have our customers in a group. So these are like the departments within your business that are actually using ServiceNow. So like your finance department or HR. Then underneath that, we have the business applications on the platform. So like the Proven Optics Billing and Chargeback app, or SPM, or HR Delivery. And then underneath those, we have the costs that go towards those applications. So first, we've got the license costs for each of these applications. Then we actually have the projects and internal staff costs. So these are the people that are supporting the applications. So your staff and the consultants for these projects. And then we have the infrastructure group. So these are the pieces of infrastructure that support the ServiceNow instance, like RaptorDB, or maybe some additional storage. All these factor into the cost of the business applications. And today, we're going to be taking a look at the mapping rules for this cost model. Currently, we have some mapping rules that are already created, and these mapping rules are what actually translate and map our financial transactions into relevant cost objects. If we look at the financial transactions for this cost model, we'll notice some of them have an empty transaction mapping key. We'll match on those. And if we take a look at these, we have 10 transactions, and it looks like two groups. We've got some software charges for the Proven Optics Chargeback application, and then we have some consulting charges that we did with an implementation using workflow services. And our goal today is to actually map those into the cost model using our AI assistant. So we can do the analysis panel. We'll actually pin it to the side here, and we'll ask it, hey, can you help me map this cost model? So this is going to take a look at the page that we're currently on and figure out which cost model I'm talking about. It's going to pull the ServiceNow total cost of ownership model. And then it's going to collect the financial transactions that are unmapped. Then it will perform some grouping logic on those to identify the groups within that data. And now we have an output here, and let's take a look at the groups that it showed us. So the first group is saying we've got some transactions for consulting with workflow services. Looks like there's 7 of them. And then we have some software transactions for Proven Optics LSE, and there's 3 of those. And it's asking for feedback if these groups look good or not. They do look good, but if there was a time that maybe there was 2 groups that were similar and we needed to collapse them down, we could do that at this point. But they look good, so we'll say, yeah, these look good. Okay, perfect. So now what it's going to do is it's going to go look at the structure of this cost model. It's going to take the segments and the cost objects, and it's going to digest it. And understanding that structure, it's going to suggest some cost objects that we should assign each of these groups to for us. This is great because it's actually going to be following some best practice principles that we've given it. And it's also going to be true to the structure of the cost model. It's easier for the user because they don't have to decide where to map it. So looking at this output, we have the first group. It's saying hey, we should probably map these proven optics charges to the proven optics license cost object. We take a look. We do have a proven optics license cost object near the bottom of our cost model. And saying these match because they're for proven optics licenses for software transactions. And so that's why it's the best cost object. The second group, it's saying we should allocate to the workflow services cost object. And it gives an explanation for that as well. Those cost objects look great, so we'll approve those. And if we go to our mapping rules, we'll refresh, and we actually have two new mapping rules that were generated by the AI. And now what it's going to do is it's actually going to allocate them to the right cost object. So these percent mapped will go up to 100% as it creates the allocation for each one. So there we have it. Each one has its allocation created. They're in a draft state. So we'll go into each of these mapping rules and we can review what the AI created. So it has a nice description. We have some really accurate conditions that are detailed, and we can actually match and see how many records are included in those conditions. And then we can see the cost object that it assigned to. So this all looks good. We'll approve it. And we'll go back and we'll do the same for the other group. So we've got a good description. The conditions look really detailed and accurate. We've got 3 records that match, and we're going to the proven optics license cost object. We'll approve that as well. Now we have 2 new mapping rules that were generated by the AI that I just approved. This means that the next time that we run our cost model, those financial transactions will get accounted for in the run. Okay, that's it for the demo. Thank you. Let's take a moment to talk about what it took to build this and some lessons learned. So if we go over to this presentation that I have, we can see the approach that we took for building this mapping agent. We actually took 2 approaches, and if you break the problem down, there are really 2 steps. First, we need to find and group similar unassigned financial transactions, and then the second group is to suggest cost object assignments for those groups. So the first set of logic is using script includes, things that are foundational to the platform to accomplish it. We do this with a field match key for your financial transactions that show us which fields on your financial transactions are most relevant in identifying groups. And then we take that match key and we perform some aggregation logic on the financial transactions for you. This is nice because it's going to deduplicate any financial transaction data, and it's really fast and really consistent because it's using scripted logic that has been optimized for the platform. The second step to suggest a meaningful cost object really plays to the strengths of AI because it can take in the hierarchy of our cost model and analyze it. Also take some cost modeling best practice principles into account, and it can then suggest, based off of those, the best cost object. This is a good problem for AI to solve because it's kind of difficult to quantify what the best cost object is. But AI can understand context, it can infer things, and it can reason. And that's why we used AI for this second part of the functionality. These 2 capabilities combined together help us to use the assists that you're purchasing for Now Assist responsibly, because we're using scripts for what scripts are good at, and we're using AI for what AI is good at. So some lessons learned. The Now Assist panel is great because it is more intuitive for users, and it flattens the curve of usability. People can interact with it in a natural and meaningful way that requires less familiarity with the actual software solution itself. The next lesson learned is that AI is not the solution to every problem. It's a very powerful tool, but it has its own strengths and weaknesses. So for instance, its strength that we're highlighting here is it has strong language and intent understanding, but one of its weaknesses is that it's probabilistic. That means the same input can lead to different outputs. Another lesson learned is that ServiceNow has a lot in their AI framework besides just AI agents. We're currently looking into using AI search. retrieval augmented generation, and custom Now Assist skill kit skills to increase the quality of output of our AI. This is important because it needs to actually be based on our data instead of making something up. And the last lesson learned is that our AI team members, our cost modeling assistant, our AI analyst, and eventually our AI consultant are very powerful additions to the team, but they still need some guidance. It's a team effort between the user and the AI. So that's our AI capabilities within our cost modeling application. Thanks for tuning in today. Have a good rest of your day.